2,000 years ago, during the season of the Passover, Jerusalem was a crowded fortress. The city was packed with travelers from every land, gathered among gardens and vineyards to celebrate their national festival. The people here felt safe in heaven's favor. Looking at their massive bulwarks and the snowy marble of the temple, they believed their capital was the joy of the whole earth, a place where no sorrow could enter. But from the crest of the Mount of Olives, Jesus looked across the valley and wept. While the crowds cheered his entry into the city, he was overwhelmed by a sudden, mysterious sorrow. He saw the walls surrounded by armies. He heard the voices of children crying for bread in a besieged city. He wept because the people he came to save could not see the disaster gathering right in front of them. Stately palaces and green slopes mean very little when the inhabitants ignore the time of their own visitation. Today, life continues in its unvarying round. Most of us are absorbed in the same things: traffic, money-making, and the comforts of a modern world that feels permanent. But history has a way of repeating its most difficult lessons. The events that leveled ancient Jerusalem serve as a detailed map for the world we live in right now. Just as the ancient leaders mocked warnings of ruin, modern society often mistakes a temporary silence for permanent security. We are lulled into a sense of safety while the same forces of rebellion grow. Human nature remains consistent over the centuries. Prioritizing the ease of the present moment often hides the reality of what is coming. The doom of the city wasn't caused by a sudden bolt of lightning. Instead, by persistently resisting divine mercy, the people caused God's protective restraint to be withdrawn, leaving them to the control of the leader they had chosen. Without that restraint, the city tore itself apart. Internal factions turned to plunder and murder, and the sanctuary itself was polluted with the bodies of the slain. When the Roman leaders under Titus finally resumed the siege, the city was already hollowed out by famine. Millions were trapped inside the walls during the Passover, experiencing the results of their own choices. The temple was consumed by fire, and the ground where the holy house had stood was plowed like a field. Every prediction Jesus made came true. The survivors were scattered as homeless wanderers throughout the earth, proving that his words would not pass away. Judgment is the harvest a nation sows for itself. When the Spirit of God is persistently resisted, it is finally withdrawn, leaving the soul with no power to control its own evil passions. Even in that slaughter, a way out existed. Records show that not one Christian perished in the destruction of Jerusalem. They were watching for a specific sign Jesus had given them: the sight of Jerusalem surrounded by armies. When the Roman forces unexpectedly abandoned their first siege, the believers didn't wait. They recognized the window of opportunity and fled to the mountains immediately. While others returned to their homes in triumph, convinced the danger had passed, those who listened to the warning found safety in the land of Perea. A warning sign only benefits those who pair their observation with immediate action. Today, we see the same absorption in pleasure and business that preceded the ancient fall. As the world disregards the laws that provide order, the same protective restraint is slowly being removed from our society. Just as the early Christians were given physical markers, we are told exactly what to look for. The prophecy points to signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars. These cosmic changes happen alongside an unprecedented distress of nations and a sense of fear for what is coming upon the earth. These aren't just random events. They are harbingers, proving that the same fate that befell the chosen city is now moving toward the entire world. For those who refuse to watch, the end will arrive like a thief in the night, stealing into an unguarded dwelling while the inhabitants are lulled in false security. We are standing in the same moment of decision as the people of ancient Judea. We are deciding right now whether to credit the message or ignore the sirens. Those who recognize the signs and accept the offered protection are not left in darkness. They can see the day approaching and move towards safety before the restraint is wholly withdrawn. The history is recorded, the signs are visible, and the opportunity to flee the coming wrath is still open. The choice to wake up and watch is yours.